about is you talking about Beyonce. I don't like when people talk about Beyonce. We're not gonna do that. You don't.
Ray J just flipped the whole industry on its head, exposing the Carters for allegedly using him like some kind of secret plaything. And the claims are straight up jaw-dropping. People had already been giving him the side eye for constantly defending them, especially Beyonce.
Here you disrespect Jay-Z and Beyonce. Jay-Z is an OG. Don't ever disrespect Beyonce, because now that you lying on me, and I know for sure that all the you're saying is a lie. Now you wanna go for Beyonce. Beyonce has never done nothing to nobody. I haven't seen Beyonce make one mistake. And you know what? That's somebody that's really trying to make sure that her image is in the forefront and be a role model for all these young girls and all the people that's inspiring to be like her or to follow down a path like that. That's a path you want to follow down. Why are you trying to f that up? Why are you lying on Jay-Z and Beyonce?
But now it's looking like he might have had more than just friendly ties with Queen Bee herself. Word on the block is Ray J and Beyonce allegedly had a private relationship back in the day. And the wildest part? There are said to be tapes floating around Hollywood right now, with TMZ rumored to be one of the top bidders. The streets are whispering, and it's getting uglier by the minute. Then out of nowhere, Rihanna's former publicist Jonathan Hay jumped in and dropped a bomb, accusing Jay-Z of allegedly forcing Ray J to entertain Beyonce while he watched.
What I do know for a fact, not alleged, but DJ Khaled is bisexual. And Jay-Z has also participated in bisexual activities.
Would you want to say allegedly? For your safety?
There's no, I would say allegedly, if it was allegedly. DJ Khaled, 100%, has been involved in, he's bisexual. I did a show called One Shot, and he was in Miami, and he was open with the guy that he was with. He was gay, and I don't understand what happens there where, because nobody said anything to me like, hey, make sure you don't, go out and say this on record. Make sure you don't say this, da-da-da-da. So it's weird that would still be hidden. That seems like that should be a fact that DJ Khaled, at least in 2016, was definitely bisexual.
Okay, and
And Jay-Z is without question bisexual.
Okay.
That's some disturbing deja vu, because people are comparing it to what Diddy reportedly did with Cassie. These insiders are finally talking, and the silence from the top stars is making fans even more suspicious.
Did you personally see Jay-Z with transgender women? You personally?
I have, correct. It was during it was during the tour. It was during the tour with the Mill, DMX, Jay-Z.
The Hard Knock Life.
No.
Or maybe a different one.
Yeah, they had the documentary for it. What was that called? I'll think of it. I'll think of it here in a little bit.
Yeah, it was a documentary, backstage or the
backstage with the Mill and all that. I used to work with her, and I definitely. It was unmistakable. In 2024, the trans women are. It can be hard, like a lot of people that, they don't know, but back then it wasn't as advanced, and you could clearly tell, that was a guy.
At this point, it might be smarter for these celebs to start owning up before every dirty secret hits the daylight. Don't forget, Ray J was once the loudest voice defending Jay-Z and Beyonce, especially after Jaguar went on Pie Morgan and claimed the Carters were mixed up in Diddy's shady empire and dark rituals. Ray J didn't waste a second firing back at Jaguar Wright, and that was before Jay-Z and Beyonce even started threatening her with lawsuits.
He is a cuckold, right? He likes to watch Beyonce with other men. Ray J, from what I heard, even before all this happened, was one of the guys that used to smash Beyonce while Jay-Z would watch.
The man came swinging like he was on their payroll. And let's be real, the last time Ray J went this hard defending somebody, it was Diddy. And we all know that wasn't just loyalty, that was history talking.
And tell them who it is. We still trying to find out who was in this Pimp C tape.
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire. Yeah, man. Hey, whoever it was, they went to kill me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out.
Okay.
A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose, you know, as a Montana goose. You know what I mean? So, you know, they also know who was having money at the time. So it's not really hard to figure out. But, you know,
just tell us. Just say the name.
But no, the only reason why I won't tell it because Pimp C is not here. So therefore, I'm respecting his wishes. If he wanted to get out, maybe he would have put it out. Maybe he might have had to deal with the situation. You know what I'm saying?
But then things took a wild left turn. Rihanna's ex-publicist, Jonathan Hay, jumped into an interview and spilled what he called the real story behind Ray J's obsession with defending Beyoncé. Now, if that name sounds familiar, Jonathan was the same guy who once leaked the rumor that Jay-Z was sleeping with Rihanna back in the day. He later walked it back, but now he's flipping the script again, claiming it was all true, and that Jay-Z personally threatened him into retracting the story. And he didn't stop there. Oh no, he went all in. Jonathan went on to accuse Jay-Z of allegedly being on the down low, claiming he actually saw Jay getting intimate with a trans woman while still married to Beyoncé. The streets went quiet after that one, because this was not just gossip. This was coming from someone who had worked inside the circle.
To go meet with Dame Dad. So we go after I leave Java, go to Rock, to the Rock. As soon as I sit down there, Dame Dash opened up his checkbook, could have checked for $1 million. I'm like, whoa. He like, I was like, is this for sure? He was like, no. He said, we want to use UGK. I was like, what? He's like, we want to put your boys. That's right. So I immediately picked up the phone and called Pimp C. Because all I was trying to get was 100,000. When Dame cut that $1 million, I called Pimp on the phone like, yo, Pimp, and him and Jamal was in the house. And I could hear a tussle or some type of confrontation, right? And I'm like, calm down, bro. Y'all calm down, Pimp.
I ran up the cable bill.
They was fighting. Okay, they was fighting like hard. And I'm like, Pimp, stop whatever you doing right now. I told you what's going down with Jamal when you moved him up in there. I said, but right now, I got $1 million check for you. All we want was 100,000. I was just like, who is that with? I said, with Rockefeller. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm watching Dan with the checkbook, he writing out. He was like, ain't that with, over there with Jay-Z? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, tell him to take that check and go give it to Tupac Mama, man.
And according to Jonathan, that wasn't even the end. He claimed Jay was hosting his own secret freak-offs, just like the wild ones Diddy used to throw with Cassie.
I DJ'd for Mos Def, and we went over to London for some shows, and Destiny's Child was performing there. And I don't know if you know this, and don't tell anybody if you don't, but Mos Def kind of used to mess with Beyoncé.
But here's where the whole story takes a shocking twist. Unlike Diddy, Jay allegedly wasn't into hiring male escorts. Instead, Jonathan claims he was forcing certain men in the industry to get intimate with Beyoncé while he watched. And according to Jonathan, one of those men was none other than Ray J. He even went as far as saying Jay-Z sat there and watched Ray J and Beyoncé together while he allegedly pleasured himself. It sounds insane, but that's exactly what was said. Now, Jonathan hasn't dropped any solid proof to back these wild claims, so we can't just take it as fact, but fans are buzzing. They say this could explain why Ray J always defended Beyoncé like his life depended on it, even when it made no sense from the outside.
And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls. Impulse control issues.
People are starting to wonder if there's way more to their connection than anyone realized. And then it gets even darker. Remember those earlier accusations Jonathan made? The ones about Jay-Z allegedly having inappropriate contact with a 17-year-old Rihanna? He claims that after breaking that story, federal agents actually reached out to him for help in their investigation into Jay-Z. The agents allegedly suspected Jay had flown Rihanna from overseas into the US for secret meetings. and even hinted that money was involved. Jonathan said the feds told him Rihanna wasn't the only one, that there were other young women involved too, which sent shockwaves through everyone who heard it. These are heavy, dangerous accusations, and even though Jonathan hasn't shown any physical receipts yet, the way he's speaking, without saying allegedly or backing down, has people convinced he's holding on to real proof.
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill?
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow, can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No,
this
I can't
tape.
explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video. And I can tell the video was pornographic in nature.
And just when you think this saga couldn't get any darker, here comes the next bomb. Behind all that picture-perfect power couple image, rumors have been swirling for years that Beyoncé wasn't exactly as loyal as she looked. Word is she was allegedly entertaining other men behind the scenes while the world thought she was all about Jay-Z. One of the most shocking whispers? People say Beyoncé might have had something going on with the late Pimp C, and that whatever they had could have played a role in his mysterious death. Some even claim there was a private tape of the two, but Jay-Z supposedly made sure that footage never saw the light of day by permanently silencing Pimp C before he could release it.
Beyoncé, I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put him out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there.
Mm-hmm.
Me and maybe about 15 others.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to.
Right.
Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop the whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man.
And that's where things start sounding downright sinister. Street Talk says the way Pimp C died wasn't just tragic, it was symbolic. According to DJ Paul from 3 6 Mafia, Pimp's manager revealed that when they found his body, he was positioned like he was praying, with blood everywhere, like he'd been struck in the head before being left that way. That description gave people chills. What's even crazier is that Pimp and Jay already had tension brewing long before that. Greg Taylor, a record executive, once said that right after the deal for Jay-Z and UGK's Big Pimpin' collab was finalized, he called Pimp C, and the call was on speaker. But Pimp didn't know it, and started trashing Jay-Z. And get this, there were even wild rumors flying around that Beyoncé and Bow Wow, real name Shad Moss, might have been secretly messing around back in the day. Neither of them ever confirmed it, but people working behind the scenes swore their chemistry went way beyond business. Producer Syph Sounds even spilled that. When he spent a whole weekend chilling with Destiny's Child, he couldn't help but notice how extra close Beyoncé and Moss were acting. Not like casual friends, but like there was something deeper going on. Just when fans thought the drama couldn't get any heavier, another crazy twist popped up. Celebrity lawyer Ariel Mitchell-Kidd dropped a shocking claim during an interview. She said a potential client recently reached out, trying to hire her to help reinsert themselves into the sale of a freak-off tape featuring Diddy and a high-profile celebrity. Ariel said the person on that tape was actually more famous than Diddy and apparently had no idea they were being recorded. Fans instantly jumped to one conclusion. They were convinced that the unnamed high-profile celebrity Ariel was talking about had to be Beyoncé. And honestly, their reasoning shook the internet. For one, there aren't many stars on Diddy's level, and Beyoncé is definitely one of the few who outranks him in fame and power. Second, people remembered all those old whispers about a rumored Pimp C tape and said if that one ever existed, then a Diddy tape wouldn't be far-fetched at all. Then folks dug up an old clip of DaBaby talking about a private meeting he once had at Diddy's mansion. And guess who was there? Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé all in the same room. That clip had people spinning with theories, saying it lined up too perfectly with everything that's coming out now. With all these puzzle pieces connecting, some fans are convinced the Ray J and Beyoncé rumors might not be so crazy after all. And trust, the internet isn't holding back. One fan wrote, Jay-Z bought Beyoncé from her daddy decades ago. He's her handler, y'all just don't see it. Another said, the last time I heard about a Beyoncé tape was when Pimp C mentioned it, and right after that, that man was gone. The comments are ruthless. But now it's your turn. What do you think? Do you really believe Jay-Z made Beyoncé get with Ray J? And if that actually happened, how long do you think it went on? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, subscribe, share this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.